I'd like to call this May 22nd, 2014 regular meeting to order at this time. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Dominic, Johnson,
Present.
Williams, Lynn,
Here.
Bowman, Baker, Lynch, Escadate, Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson. We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Commissioner Williams, will you lead us in the prayer?
Yes, sir.
And Commissioner Baker, if you will lead us in the pledge.
Yes.
All right. Father, in the name of Jesus, God, we thank you for this day. Father, we pray for our men and women who serve in our armed forces. We pray for the men and women who serve our Shreveport Fire and Police and Architect Police Departments. We pray for the leaders and the elected officials who are here to make wise decisions. Lord, we hope we have good decorum. We pray for peace in our community and our nation. We ask it all in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please recite the pledge in unison. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Oh, Gerald's got it. Should be here. Maybe still at that meeting. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Are there any agenda additions?
Shut up, don't you say that.
There are none. Next item.
Next, we move to citizen comments.
Any citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning, would you please fill out a comment card located in the chamber foyer that's right outside and return it to myself or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. I do have several cards at this time, and we're going to call them up in the order that was handed to me. Ralph Irwin. Mr. Irwin, how you doing?
Very well.
Again, give us your name and address, and then you have 3 minutes, okay?
Yes, sir. Ralph Dean Irwin, 8357 Indian Hills Boulevard, Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm here we have a vacancy on our District 7 Sewer Board. We have one name that's been put in nomination, but we'd like to put the name of Lyle Skip Schindler as well. He's a self-employed businessman, has a great deal of business knowledge, and it would be a big asset, value to us to have him there. That's somebody that can sit and talk money and so on. There is another name in for consideration, and that's Miss Wiskowski, and she's had been employed there for a long time, and probably under different circumstances would be fine on the board. But what I'm looking for is somebody with a business agenda and experience to help fill that position. We lost the man who had Mr. Tom Collins, who was of that nature. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Irwin. Our next visitor for comments is Jean Humphreys. Ms. Humphreys, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How about you?
Nice seeing you today.
See you too.
Like your address.
Thank you.
My district.
Oh, no.
All right, well, you can go ahead. We got 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We don't have a problem up there, okay?
Right. We like our end of town. And I want to recognize our president and the rest of our commission. I represent Image Changers. My name is Jean Humphrey. I'm board chair for Image Changers, Inc. We are a faith-based nonprofit organization with a focus on the MLK community. And I was speaking on our 2014 NGO grant that we submitted. And we submitted this grant. Our focus is community development, housing for low to moderate income, and that's home ownership, and also economic and educational developments for the MLK community. And we submitted a proposal for a tutoring program, a comprehensive tutoring program that would just tutoring, parent boot camps, career builders for our children, also life skill workshop for them as well. And we know, it's no secret, that the education in our particular target area has gone lacking. Most of the schools in the area grades were D and under. So our program will address some of these issues and help our students in the area. We believe that it does take a village. We can't rely on only the schools, but it's going to take schools, churches, and our nonprofit organizations to work together to help our children get to the level that they need to be. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you for coming. Have a good day. All right, our next person is Luther Cox. How you doing, Mr. Cox?
Fine, how are you?
You can come on up and give us your name and address, sir.
I am Luther Cox Jr. I reside at 512 Wall Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, and I'm here representing Intercity Road Modern Dance Company. I would like to thank the commissioners for giving me this opportunity to speak. Intercity Road Modern Dance Company has been creating, performing, and teaching dance in the city of Shreveport, Parish of Caddo, for 32 years, working with citizens from the age of 4 years to 99 years of age in dance, piano, voice, and acting. We are requesting funding for our project, Art in the Hood, where we offer classes in 3 of the art forms mentioned above, 3 days a week. This year, we would like to expand our program to include students that were involved last year, which would become our intermediate advanced students, and those students that are enrolling this year will be our beginning class. We feel that we are not just exposing kids to art, but we are immersing students in art due to the funding last year by the commissioners. We are currently located in the second largest black community in the nation other than Harlem in New York, and that is the Cooper Road community, also known as the Martin Luther King area. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Nice seeing you. And our last person is Joanne Witkowski. If you can come up, please, ma'am, and give us your name and address.
My name is Joanne Witkowski. I live at 6603 North Club Drive, Shreveport, 71107. I've applied for the position of the Caddo Parish Sewer District 7 Board, and I'd like your vote today. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Clerk, our next, I don't see any other visitors. You have no other cards, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll
Next,
move.
we have no visitors. At this time, we'll move to special resolutions. Special resolution of recognition to the Shreveport Mavericks, ABA National Champions.
So move, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Lynn. Are they here? Or?
Commissioner Bowman, yeah.
Yes, they are. They are.
Okay, I'm sorry, Commissioner Bowman. Motion made by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Bowman. Oh, there they are. They're over hidden.
Oh, okay. We ready to play y'all one-on-one right now. Mike Thibodeau, the center. And
Commissioner Lynch, where are you going?
If y'all would rise, please.
put your hands in your pocket.
Stephanie, where are you going? That's
Sponsor,
your...
y'all want to go down?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay.
She want to be spiritual with these men, man.
I know it. Commissioner Lynch, what are you doing? Get back up here in your seat. You can't be getting down there. Guys, y'all better watch out for her.
In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, resolution of recognition to the Shreveport Mavericks. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission has observed with pride and satisfaction as the Shreveport Mavericks of the American Basketball Association have built an incredible legend of dominance in men's professional basketball during this past season. And whereas the Shreveport Mavericks have emerged as the American Basketball Association's national champions, having conquered the rival Jacksonville Giants in the best-of-3 championship series in Shreveport on April 13th and 14th. In the series, a hard-fought battle between two heavyweights, the Mavericks prevailed with final scores of 136 to 127 and 105 to 103. The win gave the Mavericks a 50-0 perfect season record as well as an ABA national championship. And whereas the Mavericks' victory also provided other titles to reflect upon, Ed Horton, selected as the league's most valuable player for the 2013-14 season, and the fourth time most selection as Coach of the Year ever in the league history. Coach Chuck Tucker was named National Coach of the Year. Tucker is the winningest coach in ABA history with a 176-26 record over 6 seasons as the head coach in the ABA. Tucker has an overall coaching record of 586-251. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission meeting legal and regular session 22nd day of May that it does hereby heartily commend and congratulate Coach Tucker and the members of the Shreveport Mavericks for their continuance of their winning tradition and their devotion to excellence and for the splendid manner in which they represent their city and parish. Be it further resolved that the Commission does wish for the Mavericks much continued success in the game of basketball as well as in the business of life for which their teamwork experiences have so successfully helped to prepare them. Signed, the Caddo Parish Commission.
We'll present this to you and the team as well. And it's such an honor and blessing and privilege to even have you all a part of our community, our wonderful parish. And thank you too, Mr. Chris. And we know without you, you've also made this possible as well. It's all a teamwork effort. And I just want, you just don't know how much of an impact that you all have made here and abroad just by coming here. And you didn't just come here, you came and you won, you know? So my heart goes out with thank you. Mr. Williams?
Let me just say, on behalf of the architects, the president of the commission and vice president, all the commissioners and elected officials and citizens of our community, not only did you come here, you came here and you became a champion. Thank you. And we can't say enough just to give a small token of our appreciation and our gratitude for the tremendous amount of impact you made in our community by having some for family to come to. And hopefully we can do a better job by showing them, by putting people in the seats. To show our support and our love for them, we have to make a significant impact by providing people affordable tickets to be able to come, and also spread the message throughout abroad that we need to support this ABA team, this coach, and this team. Thank you. We got the best coach and we got the best team in America in the ABA, right in Shreveport, Indiana. And we're very proud of that. And we like to say to our fairground chairman who runs that, thank you for negotiating to get him here. Hope we can find ways to improve the fairground, to make it more attractive and make it more better, so we can have a great facility for you to play and practice in. And the only thing I would like to do, I'd like y'all to take on Mike Thibodeau as one of your players. Yeah. Don't let the great fool you. He still can play. And to our very own local, I can't say enough about this young man. Him and I went to the same high school. His father and I used to play Santa Lock with him in the community. And look how playing him, raising him up in a basketball environment, it builds character, it builds culture, it builds teamwork, it builds leaders. Absolutely. And we're very proud of him and his family, and you also allow him to be a part of the family of the ABA and your basketball team. Good job, well done. Let's do a repeat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're extremely humbled by this honor, and many of our players are here today, our staff, and we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We were received so warmly in this community when we came here, and it has continued all the way through to the final game of the championship finals. And we are your team. We are your champion. We're committed in being here. We all are here because of our owner, Mr. Jerry Nelson. He's not only the best owner in the ABA, he's the best owner in pro sports, and he does an outstanding job. Our guys are committed. They're here in the off season. They're going to an event today, handing out basketballs, and we're committed to this community, and we're committed to Shreveport, to this parish, to this entire community, northern Louisiana, the state of Louisiana, and we want to be here for a long time. We want to continue this tradition. We want to continue this in this area, in this parish, in this city. And hopefully we can be back here next year this time with the 4th championship. And that's our commitment right now, because the drive for number 4 has begun. This 34-0 season, this winning streak, which now is extended to 60 straight games, 66 straight at home, and now with the Mavericks winning more championships than anybody in the history of the ABA with 3, we want to continue that streak. We want to thank you. We're extremely humbled, and we're just happy to be here. Thank you very much.
What can we do to do more to help support the Mavericks? What can we do here locally?
Well, embrace us. You know, we've tried to embrace this community and this city, this parish. Embrace us. I think that there are things that we need help on in the Hirsch. There are things that we need to continue to develop the Hirsch Coliseum, and Jerry has done a lot of work there, put a lot of money in there. I know Chris can better address that. I think we've got issues with the roof there. I think we've got issues with improvements that need to be made within the Hirsch that would make it a better facility. Not only would bring us there and continue to make that our home, but other events, basketball-wise, and with other types of indoor sports, that I think the Hirsch is still a very viable arena. And I think those are the ways that you can help. And if you do that, we're going to do everything in our power to continue that streak and continue to make the Hirsch smile. And believe me, she was smiling on April 14th.
Coach, we got some other commissioners that want to speak. Commissioner Thibodeau?
Yeah, to me, the most remarkable thing about a winning streak that long is, and as just an unprofessional coach myself, basketball, found the most difficult thing is to keep 5 people working as one, because that's what a basketball team is. It's 5 people working as one, and it's not hard to have just one night where that doesn't happen and you lose to somebody that you probably shouldn't have lost to. So to me, that's the most remarkable thing about any winning streak, is you got to have tremendous team, and that's obviously what you have. And I was going to say to our president, Mr. Dominic, he asked why Commissioner Lynch was out there. I'm surprised that you have not heard that our ABA national champs, the Shreveport Mavericks, have officially named Commissioner Stephanie Lynch as their official grandmother.
Grandmother, that's you.
Mr. Thibodeau, you're out of order. Okay, does anybody else want to speak? Okay, go ahead, Tom. And I would say that Tom has done a great job of trying to promote y'all, and hopefully we can get more media. I know that y'all had some advertisement and things like that, but we need to get the word out a little bit better for y'all. I really wanted to come to a game, but just didn't make it. My kids, I got kids that play basketball and baseball, and it was just every time I wanted to go, we had something going on. So anyway, Tom, go ahead.
Well, I'd just like to say on behalf of the Promise at 90.7 FM, we were the host of the Coaches Show every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And this man, Steve Tucker, better known as Coach T affectionately, came back from a near-death heart attack back in November.
Wow.
And came back stronger than ever. In fact, in about 2 weeks, he was back on the court, thanks to his doctor, and then continued through the rest of the season. He is lean and mean, and he's a winning machine. And I just want to also, I don't know if you've noted, but the Shreveport-Bossier Convention and Visitors Bureau named them a Pride Award winner of the most outstanding professional team in Shreveport-Bossier just recently, and as a Pride Award recipient, I think they're deserving of a round of applause as well. And continue to help them, because they need the help with the Hirsch. Doug, come on. You know, the Hirsch needs a new look, okay? Thank you.
You're welcome, Tom.
Any players? Y'all got
Chris?
Any players?
Hang on one second. Chris wants to say something real quick for us.
I just want to thank Coach Tucker for making my phone ring a little over a year ago. He's the one that called me and said that they had their sights set on Shreveport-Bossier and came to visit Hearst Coliseum, and even with the old building's flaws, he loved it from the get-go. Of course, the red, white, and blue seats didn't hurt, I don't guess. But all the seating in there is right on top of the action, so there's not really a bad seat. But Coach Tucker not only is a champion on the court, but he's a champion as a person. And a terrific leader, and I know these guys are great.
All depends on what day, yes.
I'm proud to call you my friend, too.
All right, very much.
Jerry Nelson, of course. Without Jerry Nelson, none of this would have happened. And not only has he brought a championship basketball team to Shreveport, but he's also brought concerts to Shreveport. He's already produced a few and plans to produce more. And as a small token of my appreciation, I awarded Mr. Jerry Nelson the contract for the State Fair of Louisiana Pro Rodeo yesterday. So. And I thank the Caddo Commission and commissioners for all the support y'all have always given us, and ask that you continue to do so, and we'll give back as much as we can.
Go win another championship.
Thank you.
I want to thank Chris. I've worked with a lot of arena directors. I don't think I've ever worked with one more conscientious or better than Chris Giordano. And congratulations to you for winning the Pride Award the other night. And what a fantastic job you've done all year. Chris, what makes that fairground so special? It's a family affair out there. His dad gave everything that he had for that fairgrounds, and I think everybody knows that. Chris has continued that tradition, and I know his dad was not only smiling on April 14th, but he was smiling last Thursday night when you won that award. Give him a big hand. He really deserves it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for doing that.
The final thing that I would just simply like to say, Commissioner Williams has said it, but he always says it over and over, that we need family events, and I would just like to thank you for creating something family-oriented in our area, and thank you for coming here today and being a part of it. It shows a great pride that y'all have for our community, and we really appreciate it, and we love each and every one of y'all, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Do what? Yeah. They do theirs on my team, though. They got the beer.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
November 8th, okay? That's when we're tipping it off.
Okay, all right.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing it. Good job.
You have a big head for this.
What's up, baby? Keep it up.
Good job. What's up, man? Good luck.
As I say, I was just trying to keep it alone.
Watching.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Miss Litz, you can't go with them. Come on. Go ahead. You can ride on the bus.
Mister, we got work to do.
Grandma.
I'll never can't believe. All thing you got to worry about, Michael, is that payback is always tenfold.
Especially with this wool party. That's all right. He can have it.
Hey, guys, I tell you what, that was a class act. They even have sent us a thank you card, so really, really nice of them to come today. Mr. Clerk, we need to move on to other business.
Okay.
So next item, please.
We'll move on to communiques, committee reports.
Are there any communiques or committee reports? Commissioner Wilson? Dr. Wilson?
Erica instead of Dr. Wilson today.
I'm looking at the board now that it says Wilson. I look over there, boom.
On behalf
Dr.
of
Bryant? Okay.
Well, no doctor.
All right.
On behalf of Dr. Wilson, he wanted me to let you all know you should have a notice at your desk that the North Louisiana Economic Partnership, along with AEP SWEPCO, is hosting a come and go welcome reception on May 28th, 2004.
When is that?
It's a welcome reception. They're having a site selectors familiarization tour, and from May 28th through the 30th, and along with that tour, they're having a welcome reception for the guests that they're inviting for that. And the reception will be on May 28th at 7 o'clock, and they're asking for the commissioners to RSVP if you're interested in attending that.
Okey doke.
That's it.
Commissioner Lynn?
Caddo Parish resident Brian, what is this about? If there's industry coming to our,
They're looking.
they're looking?
They're looking at our area, if they
Okay.
wanted to select our site for a potential business location. And they're just hosting a tour to put Shreveport on their radar screen.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Bryan. That's all.
Okay, I was just looking at this stuff. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
I think we have,
Here, got no
Oh,
commission on board.
man, I thought we were going to get through without Commissioner Williams having to.
Not possible.
Not possible. Okay,
It
Commissioner.
would be unethical, immoral, if I don't recognize Mama Hall in the audience.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Mama Hall was like a mother to me, and she was a mentee to me when I was on the Shreveport Fire Department. She has a wonderful, beautiful family, Mr. Hall, and her son John and I worked together on the Shreveport Fire Department. You're talking about one of the best outstanding firefighters in this nation was her son, and we were praying for his healing. He just got out of the hospital, and tell John, give him my regards that I hope he get well soon, and I really appreciate him taking me under my wings, becoming a great firefighter, and I appreciate you showing the support and love for all of us on the Shreveport Fire Department. I just want to say thank you while you're in the audience. I think she live in one of you guys' district up there.
Mine.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hall.
Ms. Hall, I didn't see you out there, but thank you for coming today. And Commissioner Lynch?
Yes, there was a personnel policies and procedures meeting today. We're continuing to discuss proposed changes to the employee benefits to ensure the stability and sustainability of our health insurance plan going forward, and to continue to ensure that we can continue to offer our employees a solid plan there. We'll continue with I think we have basically one more meeting to make some final recommendations to be effective maybe starting in 2016. So one more meeting probably sometime next month to kind of wrap up that and take those recommendations to the entire commission. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And next item, Mr. Clerk.
President's report.
Only thing I would say is we went to a dedication and ceremony for Mr. Hudson and Miss Bowman at the center at Pines Road.
Yes, sir.
Help me name the...
Bill Cock.
Yes. It was a dedication to Miss Bowman again. We appreciate Commissioner Johnson along with Commissioner Bowman were there. We had a really, really wonderful turnout. Great time. Gerald, thank you for being there.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your support. And we'll continue to be with you. And that's pretty much all I have on my president's report at this time. Next item.
We'll move to adopt the minutes of the regular meeting.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Johnson to adopt the meetings of May 8, 2014. Please vote. And next item.
Move to adopt the minutes of special meeting held on May 5th.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Johnson to adopt the special meetings on May 5th, 2014. Please vote. That passes. Next item.
Next, we move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5393 of 2014 to set the general purpose millages and special purpose millages for millage rate adjustments as allowed by Article 7, Section 23 of the Louisiana Constitution, levying and imposing taxes and assessments for 2014 on all property subject to taxation in Parish of Caddo.
I declare the public hearing open at this time. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of this ordinance number 5393? Does anybody wish to speak against ordinance number 5393? See no one speaking for or against. At this time, I close the public hearing. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5394 of 2014, setting the parish millage for purpose of paying principal and interest due in 2014 on outstanding parish bonds issues, and to instruct the tax assessor to include said millage on tax roll.
Declare the public hearing open at this time. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of ordinance number 5394? Does Does anybody wish to speak against ordinance number 5394? Declare this public hearing closed. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5395, 2014, to adopt the values fixed or to be fixed by the Louisiana Tax Commission on all assessments for railways and other public service corporations, and to instruct the tax assessor to extend such assessments and values on the tax roll in the parish of Caddo.
I declare the public hearing open on ordinance number 5395. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of ordinance number 5395? Does anybody wish to speak against ordinance number 5395? Declare this public hearing closed. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5396, 2014, settling the assessments of property classified as timberlands and to instruct the tax assessor to include said assessments on the tax roll.
Does anybody wish to speak in favor of ordinance number 5396? Does anybody wish to speak against ordinance number 5396? Declare this public hearing closed. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5397, 2014, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designee to sell the parish's tax interests.
Does anybody wish to speak in favor of ordinance number 5397? Does anybody wish to speak against ordinance number 5397? Declare this public hearing closed. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
That concludes public hearings. We move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5393 of 2014, set general purpose millages.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Lynn. Have one discussion, Commissioner Lynch.
Asking that. Are these rolled forward or back?
They're the rollback rates. You don't have to go through the process of rolling back. You're adopting the same millage rates, but they are the rollback rates.
When do we get an opportunity to look at rolling forward?
You can look at roll forward in any year up until the year of the reassessment. Once the reassessment process happens, the roll forward is no longer available to you. Our next reassessment is 2016.
2016?
Yeah, so if you wanted to look at a roll forward, you can look at it for any year up until that time.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but we're not doing rolling forward any of these.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
They're at the rollback rate.
Correct.
Okay.
And we are reducing the debt service millage as a result of the election.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is that all, Commissioner Lynch? See no other speakers, please vote. Okay, that passes 9-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5394, 2014, setting the parish millage for the purpose of paying principal and interest due in 2014.
So moved to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Williams. No discussion, please vote. That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5395, 2014, adopt the values fixed or to be fixed by the Louisiana Tax Commission.
Move to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Williams. No discussion. Please vote. And that passes 9-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5396, 2014, settling the assessments of property classified as timberlands.
So moved.
Okay, I got one question. Is anybody gonna make a motion second other than Commissioner Williams and Commissioner Lynn? All right. Motion was made by Commissioner Williams and seconded by Commissioner Lynn. All right, there is no discussion.
I must got somewhere to go.
Please vote.
You must be.
That passes 9-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5397, 2014, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator.
Oh, whoa. Just introductions, guys.
Now, this one is a...
Come on, Judge, wake up.
I second.
I got a hit on
I
it.
made a motion, now it's that one.
Okay, I got you. All right, so I have a motion by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Baker. No discussion, please vote.
John Esky ain't here. We're moving mighty fast. John ain't here. All right.
That passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we move to zoning ordinances for introduction. Zoning case P614 in regard to ordinance number 5399 of 2014. Property located on the northeast side of LB Road, 250 feet south of Reddick Drive. Vintage Realty Company applicant. Request to rezone from R1D to B1 Buffer Business District. Zoning case number 814 in regard to ordinance number 5400 of 2014, property located on the northeast corner of Jefferson Page Road and Greenwood Road, Dale and Bonnie Pratt applicant. Request to rezone from R1D to I1 Light Industry District. Zoning case number 914 in regard to ordinance number 5401, 2014, property located on the northwest corner of Jade Circle and Mayo Road, Lifelong Fitness and Wellness LLC applicant. Request to rezone Lot 1 from RA1 Residential Agriculture to RAE Residential Agriculture Extended Use for a personal trainer only on property. Next, we move to ordinance for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5398 of 2014, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for Riverboat Fund in the amount of $30,000 for Christian services. Ordinance number 5402, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorized administrator or designee to sell tax interest. Next, we move to ratify the work session minutes of May 19th.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Bowman. Motion made by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, sir.
Please vote.
You can hear me.
Call his hand over here. Such a habit. I know. Okay, that passes 9-0. Next item.
Next, we move to resolutions. Resolution 19, 2014, acceptance of Louisiana compliance questionnaires required by the Louisiana Auditor's Office.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Lynn.
What are those questions? I just have, the legislative question, I'm sorry.
The legislative questionnaire, it is the annual questionnaire we have to prepare to acknowledge that to our knowledge we have not violated any state laws in relation to the budget, in relation to finance, in relation to the bid law.
Open meetings, public records,
Meetings,
ethics stuff.
You're answering those questions?
We're just saying, to our knowledge, we have not violated these.
There's a form that comes in that we have to fill out that says that.
And the commission has to certify that, and the commission president has to sign the form once you...
You're doing a good job.
I got to sign something on that?
You do have to sign it.
Wait a minute, I'm going to take
President Baker help you out.
Okay. Please vote at this time. All right, next item.
Resolution number 20, canvassing the returns and declaring the results of special election held on May 3rd, 2014.
So moved. Down by the second.
Well, Stephanie, it's your baby. Knock it out.
Hang on.
Second.
Commissioner Lynch and seconded by Commissioner Johnson. Please vote.
I'm gonna shut up. You don't hear me.
And next item.
Resolution 21, authorizing Parish Administrator to execute on behalf and in the name of Parish Caddo with Target Zero Institute.
Go ahead, Bowman, wake up.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Bowman, seconded by Commissioner Lynn. We do have some discussion on this. Commissioner Johnson?
Yeah, did we get some additional information? You know, I requested it Monday so that we can have it for today.
You requested additional information on this?
Yes. Well, give me a summary of what it is then, if you don't mind.
I'm going to defer to Mr. Wilson.
Who? Chuck?
Thank you, Attorney.
Chuck, can you come on up, buddy?
As long as somebody answers.
Mr. Chair.
You said Commissioner Williams.
No, I said Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
It's the head.
Okay, Chuck.
Wilson,
Go
Assistant
ahead.
Director, Animal Services. Yeah, what the TZI is this here is to approve a contract so we can bring a company called TZI here to Shreveport. And what they actually do, it's a team of experts that completes an assessment of all animal welfare issues and makes necessary recommendations regarding local ordinances, intake procedures, animal care, key organizational design, collaboration building, fundraising, and more, all with the goal of bringing the community to a 90-plus live release rate of all shelter pets. And when they come, they'll be here they'll be making recommendations over a 3-year period.
Okay, so they won't be euthanizing the animals anymore. So,
Well, they will make recommended changes to any of,
but one of the changes is to stop.
to lower, yes, sir, to lower the euthanasia rate, is what their goal is to get to target 0.
Okay, so what are some of their plans to get it down to 0?
I would have to refer you to TZI for that until they come in to do an assessment and make all their recommendations. We don't know what they're gonna.
We put emphasis on recommendation, right? Not.
Okay, all these will be just recommendations. This is basically a study.
Right.
Okay.
It'll be upon us to, whether we continue to see if that's in the best interest based upon the recommendation.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Commissioner Lynch? Chuck, you may want to stay there.
Yeah, you might want to stay there, Chuck. Now, I'm kind of, I hadn't really been keeping up with a whole lot on this until this came up, to actually enter into an agreement on this with this particular company. So I went on the website, on their website yesterday, and read every page, every link, and all of that. And so I want to be clear what we're getting into, okay? Because I heard Monday that they were just going to be making recommendations, but that's not actually what they do, okay? They don't just make recommendations. You are agreeing to follow their suggestions and to be quote-unquote radically accountable to this organization, and to follow this pyramid system that they have set up. It almost really kind of sounded like a cult to me, really once I read all of the information. But I'm trying to get an understanding how it would actually work, because their goal is to get shelters to only euthanize animals that are, that can't be medically treated, basically, or can't be, that aren't adoptable.
Yes.
Either from aggressive behavior or because of a medical condition. And then the other 90% of that number to be released.
Yes, ma'am, that's the way that I understand.
So I'm trying to figure out release to whom or to where. Where are the animals going to go? Because people are obviously bringing them in. How many do we get in a year?
How many team members?
No, how many?
Oh,
cats
we
and dogs do we
take
get
in right around 10,000 animals.
Okay, how many cats is that?
It's about 60% dogs and 40% cats, so about 4,000, 3,000 and some cats.
So say 4,000 cats, that 6,000
Yeah.
dogs, which I think, okay. And so what, how is it actually going to work, I guess is what I'm saying. If you all, if the cats are being brought in those numbers, how are they, what are they going to do with the cats if they're dogs or whatever to meet that number?
What they've did in other communities is, I can't say what they would do here, they would make recommendations, but what they've did in other communities is trap, neuter, and release them back into the communities where they come from. They trap them, they neuter them, and they release them. TNR is what that's called, and that's what's happening throughout some of the communities where they've been. That's part of their selling process.
Okay, but we're not going to do that. So that component, I understand, has been taken out.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
That's for dogs and cats.
That's correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So if that's the basis of their program, then what are we really doing?
Well, I'm not sure until they would get here, ma'am.
I need to ask you.
Yeah, since that trap, neuter, release, that was one of their big selling points. I'm not sure what the other part of that would be beside that. That's why I actually read it right off their website, because They say that they're
Are
gonna
they
look.
sending a person in to work in our shelter every day, or is it just a matter of us providing them with data?
The way that I understand it is they send a team in here at first, and then after that, we supply them with statistical data and any news events that we had, or anything that happens in the animal community here, we would have to forward that information to TZI with all of our monthly stats and any new programs that we're starting, or any issues that we have.
Okay, so we're still getting the dogs and we're still getting the cats.
Yes, ma'am. We would still get 10,000 animals per year, and whatever solutions that they may come up with is what.
Because on the agreement that we have, or maybe it was on their website, I'm not sure which one. I mean, we're committing as a part of the agreement, basically, from the way I read it, to do. It's not like we can take their recommendations, take or leave their recommendations.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at the agreement, it's a little bit more specific than that.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as what we're agreeing to do. I guess the concern I have about it is, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how these people came to us, but there are quite a number of groups that, I mean, you almost have to have decided, and I don't know if we decided this, maybe the committee did, that we want to get to zero euthanasia
rate. Yes, ma'am.
Euthanasia rate. So have we, I mean, is that what we're saying as a community or as a commission? That's what our target and our goal is? Is that what the committee?
Yes, ma'am. More so for those, of course, we still have to do for the animals that may be, sick or can't do anything else, but that's the ultimate goal. There's no place really where it's actually zero and the results.
Well, zero is the
right.
up to 10%.
Correct, but we still have a lot of things and have to have that in place for it to happen realistically, including the reason why we took out the TNR, trap, neuter, release portion, because that would help to keep that number down, but we don't have an adequate place or anything for that, so what we're doing is just going off of that and the recommendation to try and get it to that, as small as we can each year. It should be something based upon the numbers of intake that we're getting, that each time we should see some type of decrease based upon recommendations that are presented by TZI.
Alrighty, well, I mean, I do think that it should be, the numbers should be going down, okay? I just need to be clear on what we're committing to with this particular entity.
Yes,
and I'm hoping that we can monitor it to make sure that this is the right fit, for us. Because they just got started. I mean, it's not like what's the big pet group?
HSUS or one of those, yeah. This is a brand new organization.
Yeah, right, and they haven't really graduated the first city yet. And so it's still kind of a work in progress. And which I don't have a problem with that, but I just want to make sure that we know what we're committing to, and if at some point this is not a good fit for us, because we didn't look at all of different types of programs and see which one would be best for what we're actually trying to achieve. And then I still really am not clear on where these dogs and cats are going to go. I mean, you say you're taking that part out, but
that would be the TNR part, is we would take out for the cats.
And neutering is a big part of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the community education piece, I think, is a big part of it. Okay. And I hope at some point, do you know if they're going to hire anybody locally to work?
After they come in and do the assessment, they would make some recommendations, and at this point, they did no assessment, so we don't know what their plans would be.
Now, the assessment is right now is going to be outside the city of Shreveport, right? Is that right, Donna?
Actually, it's my understanding that an assessment has already been done.
Okay.
And so I'm not sure what the results of that assessment are, or if any recommendations have been sent. Any further assessments will have to be consented to by governing bodies who have jurisdictions in whatever area they want to assess.
Okay, so the TZI did the assessment?
That's my understanding.
Okay, gotcha. All right, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Mr. President.
Commissioner Williams?
Thank you. I think, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate this partnership with TZI and the goal to lower our, how you say that word, I want to be correct. Euthanization rate in Caddo Parish. And they have a well-documented and demonstrated record throughout America doing these things, going into communities and municipalities and counties and addressing their overpopulation of pets and dogs in their community. Because we know when pets are overcrowded, sometimes there are not enough families, there are not enough pet owners or pet lovers to be able to accommodate the pets. So what we try to do is, what it's tried to do is match pets with pet lovers that love animals, not overcrowding and allow pets to be treated inhumane, and we don't have a good environment for them. So I think it's something that we should do, and unfortunately, we don't have to utilize any resources. The demand power is there because they're going to provide everything. We have what it gives us a POA, a plan of action to address this before it gets even worse than what we have. Because most in my district, in the 7-1103 and 1s, most of them are overcrowded in the district that many of us represent because of poor, because of low-income families, and not because they don't want to be pet lovers. Oftentimes, many of them have to decide to eat for themselves or eat for the pet themselves. So now that we have a pet food pantry, hope that would address that particular issue in our city. So I'm excited about the partnership. I'd like to see the results in the future, but I think the ultimate goal, that's just an acronym they use to get to that point, like zero tolerance in the classroom or anything. But get to the point where we can match these with pet owners and pet lovers, and don't have overcrowded pets being mistreated and being treated inhumane in our community. So I'm excited about it, and I hope that it brings some good recommendation to Caddo and Shreveport, so we can address our pet problem. Also, the public policy regarding our animal shelter, we're improving that as well. So what it is a partnership with this organization and with the pet board that's been chaired by our distinguished Commissioner Bowman, who's done an outstanding job, and Commissioner Lynn also, who has really brainchild this project here. So we appreciate the work you guys are doing. It's not going unnoticed. And thank you, Stephanie, for sending out that email the other day regarding the overpopulation in America. And this billionaire wanted to do some to address the overcrowded population. And I'm quite sure he, as I appreciate it, definitely, if you can, expound on that at some point, how he came into a community and helped reduce that population by using his resources and working with the community itself. So it's a national problem, it's a national epidemic in America, and I'm just glad that we can be part of the conversation in addressing that particular problem in our community. So thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Parliamentarian.
Mr. Wilson, you can sit down.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Very much like Annie E. Casey, the owner of UPS's wife, solely funded out of her pocketbook the Annie E. Casey Foundation, which pays for staff to go into juvenile detention facilities across the United States and offer them options of best possible solutions for them to either adopt or choose not to adopt. This is a very similar program where a millionaire has put their own money forth trying to reduce the euthanasia rate of pets in the United States. And very much like that, we will have the opportunity to say, yes, we like your ideas A through Z or A through B, but we don't like your ideas C through Z. And so we're going to do what you suggest in this category, but not what you suggest in this other category, which is what we did when we adopted the Annie Casey Foundation. We chose to adopt a lot of the things that they recommended, and there were a few things that they encouraged us to adopt that we decided was not in our best interest of the parish, and we chose and did not adopt those. Surprising to me, and I'm sure surprising to a lot of people, is that there's areas of this country and Canada that have a pet deficit, and I know that that is shocking coming from us as we have a huge amount. And there are people that as passionate as people are about human rights, and ACLU are as passionate as teabaggers are about not paying taxes. There are people passionate about not putting animals down, and these people are willing to spend their own money, buy their own refrigerated truck, or rent their own refrigerated airplane and fly these pets to other areas of the country at their own expense to save them from being put down. And though that may seem ridiculous to a lot of people, it's not ridiculous to a large amount of the population, and they are willing to put that money up, and I've witnessed it time and time again. I'm going to talk over my limit, and y'all can cut me off if you want.
You own Sherlock.
Yeah,
Look, we got it.
you got it. No, I got plenty of time. I was in Baton Rouge, and I, on my Facebook page, said we need a Great Dane picked up in Baton Rouge and driven to Shreveport, and then we're going to drop it off and pick it up and drive it to Dallas for this person that wants this dog from the animal shelter in Baton Rouge. I just so happened to be there. I typed right back, I can pick that dog up, no problem. Well, they wanted to know what kind of car I had, how I was going to get it there. When I said, well, I'm going to stick it in a crate and throw it in the back of my truck, they said, oh, no, you're not. It might rain on the dog. And I said, so? And they said, well, no, instead of you doing that, we're going to drive in our car to Baton Rouge and pick that dog up, and we'll just go ahead and bring it straight to Dallas. I thought they were crazy as a loon, but that's exactly what they did. They got in their car and drove to Baton Rouge and picked that dog up and brought it straight to Dallas, rather than let me put it in a crate in the back of my truck and haul it.
3 minutes.
All right, anyway. So there's people out there that are willing to do this, and we're happy to take advantage of them, and I encourage everybody to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Well, that's I don't know. I can't say anything about that. Donna,
off the record.
Anything?
I just wanted to point out, I believe we talked about the trap, neuter, and release, and one of the things is that the proposal is to make sure that the agreement does not have any elements of trap, neuter, and release, community cats, or anything of that nature included in it. So we won't be required to release any animals.
Okay. All right, I know that the committee's been working hard on this, so if there's no one else ready to speak, we'll move forward with voting. Please vote. And that passes 9-0. Next item.
Next, we move to new business. Confirm appointment of Ms. Joanne Witkowski to the Caddo Parish Sewage District Number 7.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Lynn.
Excuse me. Is that the young, that's you?
That's her.
Okay, yeah. Mama Hall, I don't want you to whoop me.
Okay, hang on. So I have a motion made by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Lynn, to appoint Ms. Joanne Witkowski. Please vote. And that passes 9-0. Next item.
Confirm reappointment of Ms. Shirley Hamilton to the Pine Hill Waterworks District Number 8.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Bowman.
Yes, sir.
Please vote.
Nine zero.
9-0. Please vote. Next item.
Confirm change in scope of project for intercity row appropriation approved in the 2014 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Is there no discussion? I got one, is this, I'm gonna speak, a question. This is on the intercity road. Is this, are we having to spend money or is it?
No, the money has already been allocated in the budget. There was a problem with the application, and they got with the Mr. Cox. Right, got with Mr. Cox, and he changed the application to meet the criteria that needed to be met.
Is this one of those ones we met about the other day?
Yes.
And how much money is it?
It's either 10 or 15,000.
Okay.
I can't remember.
All right, Commissioner Lynn?
Acting Commission Administrator Bryant, is there money in the Riverboat Gaming to pay for this?
Hang on.
Is this for the, this one is already appropriated when you're just changing the scope, so, yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted. I just wanted a yes or no. Thank you.
So we do have the money?
There's no new money, no.
I just wanted to make sure that there was money in there to appropriate it and that money would not have to be moved from another account to put money in there to appropriate it.
Correct, it's already there.
So there's sufficient money to pay it. Thank you.
That's correct.
I'm gonna ask you this question again on the next one.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Right, so there's money in the Riverboat fund.
There's money for everything that
You speak so lowly, I can't.
For everything that you all have currently appropriated, there are monies there.
Okay.
You do have something on your agenda where that's being transferred from another fund.
Not today, though.
No, but yeah, not today.
Which one?
That's Christian service.
Let them know so they.
Christian services, the one you're doing for Christian services, that's not on this agenda for approval today. That's being transferred from the oil and gas fund to the Riverboat fund. We don't have monies available for new appropriations in the Riverboat fund. For current appropriations, we have the monies available.
Which is?
This is one of those, yes.
And the
And so is the next.
Okay, Commissioner Williams?
Yeah, I think she cleared it up for the record. These are not new funds. These funds have been approved already in the 2013 budget. Went through the proper protocol through the NGO committee. What has happened is our finance director and the committee got together and gave, as it says in the amendment, confirmed change in the scope of the project, which now meets the qualification for the program. This money has already been approved. So we're not increasing the NGO fund at all. It's the same money we already budgeted for in 2013. I asked that everybody would support this and approve both of these because of the scope and the changing. Thank you.
Commissioner Lynch?
Okay, let me just clarify.
Let the record show.
This,
Oh, God.
I think it's 15,000 maybe. I'm not really sure, maybe it's 10. It's already been appropriated when we passed the budget, whenever we passed the budget for
That's correct.
2014. So
Correct.
this is not new money.
No.
Okay. Now, I know I'm asking about one that's coming up, but do we have a fund balance in Riverboat right now?
We have a very low fund balance.
We
We
have-
do have a fund balance,
Okay.
but
But not in the town.
we don't know if we will achieve our revenue numbers for 2014, and that fund balance would have to be used should we not achieve those revenue numbers.
Okay. But this does not change, has no effect on that because it's already been appropriated.
That's
There's
correct.
no effect on the fund balance.
That's good. We base the budget off transfers into
But
the
I'm saying
fund.
this
No, ma'am.
changing in the scope is not going to change that fund balance
No, ma'am.
by 1 penny.
No,
fund
you
balance
would
is
have
gonna
to,
be the
you would
same.
have to be adjusting the amount of the appropriation, which you're not.
Right.
You're just
Right.
adjusting what the monies could be used for.
Right.
Yeah.
Help us with that audit.
Commissioner Thibodeau?
I wasn't through. But that's
Commissioner
okay.
Thibodeau, hang on. Commissioner Lynch, are you, have some more?
So the same amount of money we had when we started at 330, when we pass this, we'll have that same amount of money.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
does not affect it at all.
No.
Okay. Say yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well,
Thank
no,
you.
ma'am, it does not
Does
affect
not
it.
affect it, okay,
Can you
thank
please
you.
say that?
Commissioner
That's it.
Lynn,
Now-
that's the problem I have with her too. She looks at you and smiles. You know,
That's her
and then when she
brain
said
always
yes,
going, she's smart.
yes. I've
It'll
been trying to
affect it
get her
once
to
you
speak
pay
up
it.
for 7 years now. With
She's soft.
she's too sweet. Commissioner Thibodeau.
I'm going to vote against both of them, and for this reason. We are saying that we're appropriating money for a particular group. But we do that before we determine that it's legal, whether we should appropriate it or not. And then we have to come back after the money's been appropriated, and legal finds out, wait a minute, this is not illegal, we can't use this money. You know, what they're asking for is not a legal reason to give them the money, and so we have to come back and find another reason to give them the money. And that's my problem with it, is, and we do this every single year, we find, we say, before we determine whether it's something we can do legally, we go ahead and give them the money or appropriate the money. Now, in doing that, that means if you have given A and B money, appropriated that money, and you find that it was illegal to give them the money that you have appropriated for them, in order to do that, you turn down 3 or 4 other legitimate NGOs that are legal, and you turn them down because you didn't have enough money. That's my problem with the whole, so well, I have a real problem with the process, because we are appropriating money for groups and later finding out that it was, that what they were asking for is not legal. So to make it legal, we got to go through and tap dance with them and find something that will make it legal. And that's not the way we should be doing it.
I agree.
We shouldn't appropriate any money for anybody until we determine that the entire process has been followed according to the legalities that we've set forth.
Okay. Commissioner Williams.
Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
hang on. Commissioner Williams, you already spoke, haven't you?
Yeah.
We'll come back to you in just a second.
Johnson already spoke too.
Not on this, not on this,
He the chair.
not on this ordinance or resolution. Commissioner Johnson?
Okay. Try to clarify some of this.
Right.
The process does have some gaps in it. The two organizations do have multiple projects in which they're doing. When they applied for the application and they filled out the application and it was turned in on time, our process allowed that to then say that they were okay. So now the process is saying that they're okay and they was allocated money. Okay, during the cooperative endeavor agreement is when they found out that, well, the parish cannot allocate money for this particular deal. So there's a call that goes out to the organizations to say, hey, can I use the money for this particular reason? Do you have another program in which you can substitute that particular one for? So they basically take the money that they was going to actually use for that, move it to another project, and then swap that money around from another source of revenue that they have in order to satisfy the project in which they applied first. So it's not that they have to be led into saying you can do this and you can do this and you can do that. There's multiple projects in which they qualify to do. It's just that they did not know that the one that they applied for first was not one that the parish would allocate money for. So it's not really on the applicant's side, it's on our side, on the process that we have in place. And being that I'm chairman of the NGO, we will work that out for the next time around, that we won't have that problem. This probably has been a problem maybe 1 or twice, 2 times or 3 times a year, I don't know. But for this particular one, we called it during the cooperative endeavor agreement process. So I don't see a reason why we want to punish or penalize the non-profit when it's actually the parish fault. Because our process allowed them to say that, yeah, you finna get the money, and then come back and say, well, no, you can't get the money because you don't meet the requirements. That's on our fault. That's our fault. That's not the applicant's fault. Because if they knew ahead of time that they could not use their money for that particular reason, they would not have applied for it for that particular reason. So I would ask that my colleagues would vote in favor of this. This is not allocating any new money. This is money that had already been allocated through the budget, in which we voted on. And so basically this won't change anything that we've already done in the past. Thank you, I'm through.
Okay, Commissioner Baker, you haven't spoke yet.
Oh, I was just gonna say half of the stuff Commissioner Johnson said, and,
Watch him, don't steal
the but the other half that I was gonna say is this, and he's absolutely right. We should not punish the organization because of our shortfalls, because if you can remember, Commissioner Thibodeau, we changed the CEA. It was a different CEA from the year before, and this was after we had appropriated the funding for the organizations. The CEA that we sent out the year 2014 had some new information in it and some new changes in it from 2013. And like Commissioner Johnson said, the organizations didn't know about the new changes that was in the CEA when they got it until after they got the new CEA. So that is a mistake on our part for appropriating the monies. And of course, the organizations were approved to get appropriated when we actually did the actual vote on the budget. They were approved to get appropriated. Then after we come into the new year and we sent out the CEAs, it was some new information in there. And they didn't have that new information at the beginning. So I agree with Commissioner Johnson. We shouldn't penalize the organization for changes that we made unless we have had told them in the beginning. And he said the other half of what I was going to say, so thank you. Mr. President?
Okay, we're back to Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just like to expound on the fact that that's not unusual where we have change of orders in anything we do. Do we not fund projects when they come before us and have a change of order in the scope of the project? Do we not do that here? That's been a custom because oftentimes people bid on project and they find when they get involved that it's going to take more money and we do a change of order. We have always done that. It's not unusual. It's no different than working in the NGO fund. That was a change of scope of the program and they want to make sure they meet the criteria and the protocol and providing this funding to make sure that we keep our Moody bond rating, keep our integrity, keep our audit. I think it's good, a good job that our legal and our finance department made sure they did corrective action to ensure that they met the criteria and the CEA that Ms. Baker expounded on. So I don't see nothing wrong. It's not new money. We're still living in our conservative within that budget. We haven't changed anything. The only thing has changed is the change of order and the scope to make sure they met the criteria. And that's not something that not unusual in government. Oftentimes, government and the private sector are different in how they do things. So, unfortunately, we have a lot more bureaucracy and a lot more red tape and a lot of paper tiger to deal with than the private sector. So, I don't see nothing wrong with continuing to provide funding for these great organizations. 32 years, this man been teaching dancing and cultural connection and the arts for unfortunate children in our community throughout the whole parish. He's well known throughout America. He does a great job. And matter of fact, I saw him dance the other day downtown. Beautiful art. And it keeps our young people off the streets and give them something else to be exposed to besides jail, which Louisiana has the highest incarceration rate in the world. So I think this little token of investing into our community is still not enough. We need to do more to find alternatives to incarceration in this country. We got some people in Louisiana still want to lock them up and throw away the key. So it costs almost $60,000 to house somebody in jail. We can't send somebody to college, but we can send them to jail. So this is pocket change, and these taxpayers deserve to feel safe in the community, to keep young people off the street, from and it also has served as a public safety for our community, because they're not on the street. Anything we can do to keep them on the street, I think, would be good, and it's not enough. So I hope that you will reconsider your position on not supporting it, because all it is a change of order, and the scope of the project need to be changed to fit the criteria of what our administration has done. And I hope everybody supports it. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Bowman.
Call for question.
Okay.
I'll vote on that.
I'll vote on that. Have a call for the question. Had a motion by Commissioner Bowman, seconded by Commissioner Johnson. 8-1. Will you please vote for the resolution at this time?
The confirmation. It's not a, it's not
Excuse me, a confirmation to change the scope. Please vote. That passes 8-1. Next item.
Confirm change in scope of project for image changes appropriation approved in 2014 budget.
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Baker. Commissioner Lynch,
Okay.
you got some, you got a question? Go ahead.
First of all, let me say the commission has a system of checks and balances. And in 2009, when I was president of the commission, we had the first meeting of people that were applying for grants under the NGO funding. And it's something that we didn't continue to do, that I think we need to reinstitute, especially in light of that we've made, I think, a change to the application, and then we made a change to some of the process and the cooperative endeavor agreement. In the last 2 years, I know we made changes in both years, and I'm not sure if everybody got the memo on those changes in a timely and probably open and transparent fashion. So just as we have pre-bid conferences to make sure everybody knows what the scope of what they can do, what they can't do, what we're expecting, we may want to incorporate that process again, if not every year, periodically. And with the changes, I think it may be time for us to do that. All of the appropriations that we make coming out of the committee and that's put in the budget is contingent upon certain things happening, certain things being legal, information getting to us and to the legal department. So all of those groups, all 50, 60 entities that we provide money to, is contingent upon. Now, I know last year in 2 cases specifically, where we said, yes, we're appropriating this money to this organization, but it's contingent upon legal working with them and getting the application to a point that it meets our criteria. And we knew when we passed the budget, it was still that way. And I can name them, and one of them was in Commissioner Thibodeau's district. And so, this is Holy Angels. And we did the same for Baltimore Neighborhood Association. So I'm saying, but all of them are contingent upon, until that cooperative endeavor agreement is signed, everything is contingent.
That's right.
Okay, and so I don't want anybody to have the impression that these 2 groups were trying to do something illegal, and then we had to try to make it legal. The 2 criteria that we award money is based on economic development and on services to the poor and needy, period. And that's a broad scope, but there are some things that entities want to do that it's not that it doesn't meet poor and needy, but we can't pay for salaries, for instance. We can't, go and buy a building for you, or you can't use the money to buy a building, so on and so forth. And so those type things. The last point I want to make is some of this, we used to do it, allow legal to work this out without it having to come back to the commission.
Yeah.
And that worked. I'm not sure at what point we got to where, just the change in the scope. I guess maybe the degree of the change may be driving that, or what's driving that?
Basic, Commissioner, there was a need to change the purpose once it was reviewed again after the budget process.
So when it's just a total change, then you all are bringing that back to the committee?
Yes, ma'am. See, in the past, we've had different situations where legal's been accused of changing the agreement before without coming back to the committee. So anything that requires a change now goes back to the committee.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, that's what I wanted to make sure, to see what precipitated that. Because we've had one group in particular that we had appropriated some funding for, and that was the Fuller Center. And that particular year, they didn't even get their money because what they wanted to use it for, it met poor and needy, but we couldn't, it was certain things we couldn't do with that building and how they wanted to do it. And so they did not even, get their money. And so it's not that, so we have a system of checks and balances, and we're following that. And if an entity, for whatever reason, after further review, it has the application, there are certain things in the application that they cannot do, then, this is what this is. It's coming back before the commission just to say that, yes, we're okay with you still getting that money and for this specific purpose. But my main point is, it's not anything illegal that we're trying to make legal. That's not what we do. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Thibodeau?
Yeah. I am not talking about these two right here. I said before, this could be Group A and Group B. But here's the fact of the matter. These two organizations got a second bite at the apple. Some of the folks that we turned down didn't get a second bite at the apple. They did not get an opportunity to convince us that we really should fund them. Because see, when we told them no, that was the end. We didn't go back and say, well, we are going to fund these two because we made some changes, and I'm not talking about legality, but we made changes that made it possible to fund them. We didn't go back and tell those that we turned down that they now have a second chance to convince us to fund them. And my last question to Ms. Frazier or Ms. Bryant, were these the only two organizations that did not get the information about the changes?
Commissioner, I'm not sure that you mean didn't get the information about the changes.
Yeah, Ms. Baker said something about the cooperative agreements that
from the prior year to this year, the change.
How did the other organizations get the information? These two did not get it.
That's really probably not an issue with these organizations, because what happens is I don't think the changes that you all specified were actually sent on the front end to any of the organizations. They find out about it when they get their cooperative endeavor agreement.
Okay.
These organizations never got to that point because after further review of their applications, then it was realized that they needed to change the scope of their projects of what they were going to do. So they've not gotten any paperwork yet.
Okay, well, I guess my biggest point is if we're going to give some organizations the right to expand or change what they need the money for, then we need to do it for everybody. It can't just be one or two. And once again, I don't have any problem with either one of these organizations. And it just turned out that they are the two that are up here today. It could have been any two. So based on that, I'll have to vote no, because I think it's unfair to those that we have already turned down to not give them a second chance like we're giving these.
Commissioner Lynn?
I guess the first question, do we again have money in the riverboat to fund this without pulling money from oil revenue?
Oil and gas.
Oil and gas, Mrs. Bryant.
Commissioners, you have approved this particular item in your 2014 budget. Now, in your 2014 budget, you also did approve oil and gas monies coming into the riverboat fund, but these items are currently, this item is currently appropriated in your 2014 budget.
Without any additional oil
Correct.
and gas revenue coming in.
Correct.
And then also, I will appreciate what Commissioner Thibodeau has said, in that when we look at funding organizations, we look at what they're going to do with the money, and then we award this money according to the benefit that this organization is able to offer the community. And if that organization is not able to offer that to the community, then it is fair and only fair that we look at every organization that we turn down and compare it again with what we are going to be giving the money for on a revised version of an application. And so I do understand that. I'll vote for this anyway, but I do understand, and that is fair and does make sense to me also.
Mr. Bowman?
Thank you, Mr. President. I can understand what Mr. Thibodeau is saying in regards just to the fact of looking over, making sure it's been fair, but I'm pretty sure that the committee itself has looked over. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Chairperson of the NGO. Just off of your head, about how many organizations have applied?
Probably
How many have applied?
close to 100.
Over that have applied is about.
Have applied, right?
Yeah, nearly 100 have applied.
Probably more than that.
It may be
because
more
only-
than that.
It's more than that.
Say 131 with
So out of the
existing
100
and some of the new ones. That's
Right.
about 131.
But out of the 100, these are the only two, though, that need a change of scope, correct?
Right.
So,
But
In
100.
the past, in the past,
They may not be.
they may not be.
They may not be.
Oh.
but in the past, what has happened is the change was made to the scope, and it continued on. So what Ms. Frazier is saying now, if there's a change, it comes back to the committee to revote to say, do you still want to do this?
Right.
But in the past, it was already that we had allocated the money to the organization, and so they made the change to the cooperative endeavor agreement to make sure that it was good to go, and then it continued on. Now she's saying, before they do the cooperative endeavor agreement, that they bring it back to the committee to say, do you want to move forward? So there's a change in our process right now.
Correct. Which is affecting them with that, right?
Exactly.
I get it.
And it could be some more, as she said. But
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Williams?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, Z.
But let me ask the administration, it's not unusual for the cooperative endeavor agreement based on the scope of the mission of the organization. Sometimes they don't qualify the whole year. Am I correct? No matter how you try to revise it or revisit it or whatever, they don't, because of the scope of the mission of their program, it doesn't qualify and it doesn't meet the criteria of the administration. And at that time, would you reconsider, without expanding the NGO budget, renegotiation if another organization came before this body and they didn't qualify, without reallocating any new funds or expanding the budget at such time? There have been several came before, like First T and others. And when we find out that other organizations, or FBOs and CBOs that don't qualify, we don't have to expand the budget. Can we redirect those funds to fund that particular project as well?
A completely new project that has not been approved through the committee?
Just that has came through. Just say it came through the committee, came through our process, came through our committee, and when they came through legal, they did not meet qualification to perform that particular mission. And those has been funded already in the 2013 budget. Can we redirect those funds to an organization that meets the criteria?
You can redirect the funds, but it would have to come back to your committee and come back to this body.
I'm sorry, going through the process, going through the body, NGO, us, and everybody.
Yes, sir.
Without expanding the budget of the NGO, those funds have not been allocated because they did not meet the criteria of the administration. All we have to do is redirect those funds, go through the process, and come before us and we vote.
Yes.
And it doesn't expand the budget at all. That do happen sometimes. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, do
I'm
you
calling
have?
for the question.
There's no, you really?
It might be somebody else. Okay.
Doing well today.
Okay, Commissioner Johnson calls for the question. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lynn. Please vote to call for the question. The question is called. 9-0. Okay, please vote for the confirmation.
Yay, Tim, no. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, the fuck, let me down.
That passes 8-1. Next item?
Have no other items, sir?
Move to adjourn.
That P-I-N or P-E-N? You know it. Except that.